Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. My WP recently started a new job. Great, right? She starts at 9 and finishes at 5 p.m. Yesterday she finished at 5:30 and today it was 6 p.m. My instant thought was if maybe she finished 4:30 and spent an hour ducking somebody else. We agreed on her sending me a message on WhatsApp once she's done, but that doesn't really clear anything for me, since she could just choose the time when to contact me. I know it sounds ridiculous. I have realized she can cheat again if she wanted to, and I wouldn't even know about it since we're separated for now, but I just can't help to be paranoid about some things. Not just this, there are other situations as well. Few days ago we talked about something similar when she said she was gonna take a 1-hour nap. 20 minutes later I noticed she had been online on WhatsApp. She said she forgot to put her phone on silent and did it 20 minutes later. She even sent me screenshots of her app that tracks her sleeping cycles, but I still wasn't convinced since she faked data from other apps when she had an affair. My initial thought was that she told me she was gonna take a nap so she could go and meet somebody, without worrying about messaging me. After giving me an explanation why she was online, I didn't really calm down because I don't believe a word she's saying. During the argument she said something that hurt me. It went like this. Tell me something. Do you enjoy it? Me, enjoy what? Having power over me? Me, what are you talking about? Well, you do have power over me. You can suspect, blame and check on me without me having any right to get upset over it. It wouldn't have been like this before the affair, but now it is. Me, you're the one offering me to put up cameras and whatnot. I said before it doesn't matter in the long run because if you wanted, you could find a way to cheat on me again. Me, you're the one sending me a screenshot without me even asking. I'm sending you screenshots so you could believe me. It's the only thing I can do really. You have power over me because I can't react to it. Don't really know what she meant by that. Why would she get upset if she hasn't done anything wrong? Just because I'm suspecting something? I'm not usually a doormat, but right now I have to be. By being a doormat I mean not being able to start arguing with you if you blame me for something. Me, if you feel like I have power over you and it makes you feel like a doormat, then feel free to change your passwords and don't send me any proof of what you're doing or where you're at. Then we would break up. Argument continues. There's no point in talking about it. Talking about how I feel or what I think. It doesn't get us anywhere. This situation requires MC. After this she signed us up for MC on 26th September. From the way things are right now, I'm not sure I'm gonna make it. I don't want to make her feel like a doormat by asking her things or where she is or what she's doing. I'm just keeping my paranoid thoughts to myself, which results in not really wanting to talk to her. I do have her social media login info and all that, but I don't really go there. I know being controlling is toxic behavior and I haven't been on her social media platforms since God knows when. It doesn't really prove anything since anything can be deleted, right? What to do? I don't know where to go from here. Any help and or tips are appreciated. You're in a no-win situation. Just get out and save yourself the grief. With her attitude, just give her her walking papers and move on. She is not worth this crap. No remorse, just lip service. That conversation does not make her sound at all empathetic toward you. It shows someone who's retreated into their own selfish considerations. It's probably revealing of their perspective toward you and relationships. She seems to view them as a power struggle and you as an antagonist and not a partner. The reconciliation process has to be two people pulling in the same direction to have any hope of success. With both pouring a lot of their focus and energy into the process. That conversation is clearly not from someone with the perspective of reconciling with you. So if you don't start getting empathy and a fundamental perspective shift, I would say your chances for truly reconciling where you both feel happy and secure in the relationship are very close to zero. Though I don't like to tell other people when they should pull the plug. That's a really tough decision that would factor in lots of context we don't have. I would encourage you to be resolved to either genuinely reconcile or walk away at some point of your choosing. Rug sweeping seems to always end poorly eventually. It's not paranoia if D-Day was recently. She should know she deserves this, and she should be working towards making you feel less paranoid, not more paranoid. This doesn't look like it's working because she's not bending over backwards to make you feel better. She's doing bare minimum and complaining the whole time about her F-king feelings. Sorry, but I think you need to start moving on from this toxic person. This is what happens when you stay with a wayward. This is not a healthy relationship at all. From your history it looks like you are not married. The question is, why do you want to be the warden for the rest of your life? This is not worth it. The paranoia will go away when she does away. Sorry man. The paranoia will linger into other relationships too. Since you are considering reconciliation, you may get more support here. But, your WW needs individual counseling here, not MC. Nothing was wrong with the marriage, or even if it was, her affair had nothing to do with you or the marriage. It is about her. Only when she starts working on her whys, which go back before you, then you may see a change in her attitude. How long since D-Day? It takes a good 2 to 5 years for a relationship to recover from infidelity, sometimes even more. She also cannot look like she does in that conversation. She needs to own the affair and also take responsibility for it. You wouldn't need reassurances she's where she is if she didn't have the affair. No? She did that, not you. And for the record, didn't she love the control she had when she was having the affair and keeping you in the dark? Hello. She needs to own it. Now, IC might be good for you because you are hypervigilant. It's understandable. We go through so many emotions as BS/BP and we need to understand them and know how to cope too. If your WW wants reconciliation, she has to know she must do the heavy lifting here. Her job is to show you she is now safe. She is sort of not being very successful at that. No? Sending you screenshots etc. It's almost to you like a naughty child who is still doing things wrong but covering their tracks. No? Now, if she is to be off at 4:30 and she calls you or texted you at 4 o'clock stating something like, "Hey, I have to stay for about 30 to 45 minutes because my manager is showing me how to do A, B or C, and that is all the time they have to do it," would that trigger you? Perhaps you both have to sit down and discuss these things. Or, you truly cannot get past all of this and it could be time to look at ending it. It's up to you. For that, you are in control here. Who wants to be someone's jailer? You shouldn't have been more of a jail warden than a spouse. Once the trust is destroyed, it's best to move on, especially when the betrayer resents the new circumstances that they created in the relationship. It will never be what it was for you, no matter how hard you wish it would. Good luck. I know it sucks. Seems like the relationship is beyond repair, but you're in denial about it. Eventually she will likely leave you anyway, because you can't trust her and are going to make her go through the hoops. Can you live with trusting her? Can you live with constantly being paranoid? Can you live with thinking about what she did with the other dudes and the kids she told you? Can she live long term with the way you treat her now? Truly separate for a while, which means North Carolina, to figure if you want to be with her anymore. Don't obsess over if she is cheating while no contact. If you can't help obsessing over it, more signs that the relationship is done. Sounds to me like you have a partner that isn't actually remorseful. The willingness to give up passwords and check in was just for you to stay. Now that you've calmed down, she wants to change things again. See, the greatest power any of us have in all our relationships, whether it be with family, friends, or partners, which is also our most attractive trait, is having the ability to walk away when you aren't getting what you believe you deserve. Based on the interaction, I gather that her willingness to give up all that she did was due to your willingness to walk away. The funny thing here is that she talks about you having the power now, which is kind of false. See, you did have the power when she was fearful of you walking away. However, now that you chose to stay, which is completely fine if it's what you want, you've actually lost that power. With a little time gone by, she's actually regained some of her power back, which is why she feels bold enough to start gaslighting you again to remove her restrictions. If she was actually truly remorseful, she would gladly give up everything without a single complaint. She would have just been happy to have the privilege of reconciliation. In fact, the only conversation on the subject of access would be, do you have enough and is there anything else you want? Reading through your post, it becomes even more comical that she claims you have power. You lost all power the day months after offering reconciliation you stuck around after she factory wiped the second phone after initially telling you she had nothing to hide and you can go through it. I'm going to sum it up, and this may be hard to hear, but it's most likely going to fall on deaf ears anyways. You never had any power in the relationship and she is still very much in full control. She is gaslighting you, right? But I'm sure you're aware, as she's been gaslighting you since the very beginning. In wiping her phone, not only did she non-verbally tell you that she is still lying to you and doesn't want you to know the entirety of her cheating, but she is also protecting her AP. Meaning, when faced with an opportunity to show she is actually remorseful, shameful and is choosing you, she chose herself and her AP. You've displayed the inability to walk away while also accepting gaslighting, blame shifting and lying. She's most likely going to take you to MC so they can gang up on you. Remember, MC is all about keeping the marriage together. Very rarely do the counselors hold individuals accountable. Anyways, at some point you need to start looking out for yourself and what's best for you. Your current life of paranoia is just horrible. Mix in a partner that's still gaslighting you and doesn't actually respect you just makes it that much worse. I think a couple things you need to ask yourself are: what do you want from her and are you getting it? If not, and we make the assumption that this is her and all she can offer, does that mean you walk away or stay and accept this is as good as it gets? Removing love and respect out of the equation, because regardless of her words, her actions prove otherwise. What incentive have you given her to commit to you and respect you? Do you believe she loves and respects you more or less after you still took her back after finding out she cheated? Do you believe she loves and respects you more or less after you still kept her when she did a factory reset on her spare phone? That had to have been the biggest and most bold F you, and how did you handle it? Do you believe she loves and respects you more or less now that you have become a shell of a person, while being paranoid and insecure? I think your biggest fight is with yourself, in that you don't want to accept that this is her nature. You want her to be something she isn't. Whether you've admitted this to yourself or not, you clearly want her at all or any cost, regardless of her actions and how it affects you. Which leads me to a sad suggestion, which is to simply just let her be her and enjoy the time with her. She will eventually leave when someone better comes along, so just enjoy this very moment, because you've sacrificed a lot to have this moment. If the greatest power and most attractive trait a person can possess is having the ability to walk away when they aren't getting what they believe they deserve, how far must someone be from this if they want to hold on to someone that doesn't respect them at all cost? I'm sorry I'm keeping it real, but reading through your post history, you've had people warning you of this girl not being truthful or being really remorseful. Like I said, you just want her at all cost, and at this point you are the cause of your own pain. At this point it's really as simple as you can leave, and if you don't want to, then accept what you have. Neither of you are fit for a relationship. You are breaching her boundaries and both of you don't trust each other. Why stay together after an affair and expect any of it to be the same? You're controlling but not controlling enough to end it and seek self-therapy. Work on yourselves and hit each other up later on in life. What do you mean by breaching her boundaries? I have no clue if she trusts me or not. I'm controlling to some degree, yes. I realize that, but it's something we agreed on. Yet, all of a sudden she started complaining about it, even though I haven't become obsessively controlling. I do not expect the relationship to be the same as it was before the affair, it never will be. What I'm hoping is for her to help me deal with my triggers and intrusive thoughts, but what she said the other day completely pushed me away. I, 27M, and my GF 28F had a talk about loyalty the night before she went to a work party. She cheated on me at that party. Advice. I feel like I'm dissociating. I had been cheated on when I was a teenager. This morning when she told me what happened at the party, I experienced the same gut-wrenching feeling that I felt in my teenage years. I'm a successful dude with a promising career. I gave her my all. I was constantly reassuring her of her beauty in my eyes, but it just wasn't enough and her thirst for attention never lessened. We've had countless talks about fidelity and how I value someone who has integrity and wouldn't act on a whim and give in to temptation. In retrospect, I believe I should have refrained from these sessions of me trying to reiterate my boundaries, because I always knew in my gut that she'd eventually cheat on me because I had known that she cheated on all her exes in the past. The following is what I have issue with, beautiful people of Reddit. I feel bad for her. She thinks she is ugly. This ripped my heart apart the first time she told me this. I did everything I could to reassure her that that's not the case, but all those attempts were futile. She has deep insecurities that I never quite knew how to wrap my head around. She went to therapy one day and after the first session she completely rejected the therapist's advice. No idea what might have been talked about on that day, but I think the therapist might have told her something about herself that she outright denied. I always felt like she is resentful towards other people, and at times, I had trouble believing that she is capable of loving, because if you're jealous of everyone around you and if you constantly think that life has been unfair on you and that people have it easier, how could you have a positive demeanor towards the world and everyone around you? Should I forgive her and keep a platonic relationship with her? She'll be moving out of the country in 2 months' time, for the sake of what we've had so far and for the sake of her well-being. Or should I close that chapter altogether, because for the life of me, I couldn't possibly look at her again without thinking of her as someone who destroyed my mental health? Any advice would be much appreciated. Edit. I can't find the right words to express my appreciation for all of you who took the time to respond to this post. I'm so grateful that people like you exist. As some of you have suggested, I now understand that I was/am codependent and that I need to work on that and many other aspects for the months, perhaps years to come with the help of a professional. Thank you all so much. I have read each and every comment. And will reply the minute I have some time. Smile. Close the chapter. Your mental health is more important than continuing a friendship with someone that chose to inflict emotional and mental harm. Thanks a lot. I will do that. If you keep the door open, she might ask to borrow money, try to manipulate you based on your time together, get all dramatic because she's insecure and is moving, etc. For all you know, she didn't want a long-distance relationship and her cheating made sure that wouldn't happen. 3/4 of women do not cheat on a committed relationship. Go no contact and find better. You probably have acquaintances or friends of friends who are better matches for you. I'm sorry it didn't work out, but it's mostly because she's not who you thought she was. There's no need to immerse yourself in further pain. Go no contact. No contact is for you. For your sanity and protection. It is the logical extension of trusting that they suck. There is nothing to say, no point in engaging. The gig is up. You understand who they really are and your silence speaks volumes. Remember, if you want to end things with a narcissist, nothing says duck off louder than silence. Disordered people want engagement. It's kibbles. They want a fight, or they want to hoover you and see if their charm still works on you. Don't give them the chance. Shields up, chumps. This is a good article from a free infidelity help site, chumplady.com, that saved my sister's life. There is no reason for you to interact with this person. She has shown you her true colors. This is who she is. I need to add one more thing. I'm oodles older than you and I have seen, and dated, some high-caliber duckwits in my time. If you familiarize yourself with the manipulations of shit people, then you can greatly reduce your chance of coming into contact with them again. Your first clue was her cheating on all her previous BFs. This is a girl who heads towards the exit affair when she's done with the relationship. You knew this from the beginning. You dated it anyway. You need to fix your picker. Pretend I'm your mom and read this. Here are my improved picker tips. Do not rescue anyone. Healthy people don't need rescuing. They pay their bills. They function like adults. They manage their crises. Sure, everyone has some bad luck sometimes. We can all use a helping hand on rare occasions. But how people meet the challenges in their life says a lot about them. Good people do not presume. If they lounge around on fainting sofas waiting to have their brow mopped while you bring them a hot toddy and your checkbook, duck 'em. Steer clear. Do not settle for lopsided arrangements. You need a partner, a friend, not a project. Healthy relationships are based on reciprocity. Don't do it for someone who wouldn't do it for you. And don't presume reciprocity. Oh, of course they would. Watch what they do. Do they pick up the check? Do they hurry to do for you like you do for them? Do they get pleasure from giving to you? Or it is all about them? I see a lot of straight men fall for this. They want to be a caretaker, feel needed and powerful, and are flattered by apparent helplessness. Choose a competent person with a job and their own money. Find an equal. Women fall for the caretaker role too. They jump in as mommy and polish the jerk up, find them employment, manage their life. Don't do this. Healthy people aren't looking for parents and life coaches. That's not your job, okay? Your job is girlfriend/boyfriend. That's IT. Do not run yourself down. Oh, no one would want me because I'm a single parent/a special needs kid parent/I'm fat/I'm old. Whatever. If you're a good person and you're responsible and loving, you're a stock that trades high. Never forget it. Beware of people who lead with self-pity. Is it always someone else's fault? Do they see themselves as a poor sausage, and worse, do they want you to see yourself that way too? Do they flatter you by running other people down around you? Oh, your parents don't understand you. They suck. She's out to get you. He wants your job. Duckwits isolate their victims. Only you understand me. Duckwits idealize and devalue you. Why? It's easier to manipulate you that way. The self-pity is real. You, however, are just of use. Beware the love bombers. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Take it slow. Crazy will reveal itself. Anyone who moves too fast or loves you before they have a good long time to get to know you, that's a red flag. Pay attention to how much they really know about you. Are they truly paying attention to your quirks and interests, or are they feigning it with vague, over-the-top praise? Do you feel like your best self with them, like you do a friend who loves you warts and all? Or do you feel like you're living a fantasy? Keep it real, chumps, and don't be in a rush. Let enough time elapse to let their character show. Last but not least, do not be afraid to dump someone. If someone is pressuring you for a permanent commitment too soon, marriage, moving in with you, or on the other side, is vague and non-committal about exclusivity, after many months or years together, dump. If you have deal breakers, abide by them. Don't be afraid to next someone, because I promise you there is always a next. There are many, many people out there. You can afford to be choosy. Don't panic if you meet a lot of sucky people, or decent not quite a good fit folks. You'll learn from them, and may just enjoy something light and casual. Not everyone is life partner material, assuming you even want that. Be careful out there, chumps. A good heart is a terrible thing to waste on a duckwit. Good luck and find better next time. I'm really grateful that you took the time to write that comment. I so appreciate it. I will save this post and come back to it once I'm clear-headed. I still feel empty. I'm trying my best to remember the person I was before all this. I need to create new habits, as at the moment, I feel like I'm having withdrawals. This person hurt me a lot. I'm recognizing that I have deep codependency issues. I justified her wrongdoings over and over again. I know it sounds immature say this at this point, but I genuinely feel like it's almost impossible to find people who act from a place of integrity after going through this. I did more damage to myself when I tried to maintain the fantasy of her that wasn't congruent to reality. And because I wanted reality to be different than what it is, I suffer/shed. Thanks again for your valuable words. Much appreciated. Please close this chapter, dear. This is an irreversible act on her part. Sure, people can work through things, but she has what seems like quite a bit of self-work to do before being able to work on things as a couple. Wish her well, send her light and love, but let her go. You deserve better. She knew what hurt you and caused those scars and blatantly did the same. She's not a safe person in your life, and you have been shown exactly why. I know your heart hurts, allow it to. You felt a lot of intense feelings for her, so it's natural that you will. But over time, you will see why things had to be this way. Once you have the safe, wonderful person that loves you and respects you with the utmost integrity, you will look back and be glad you didn't stay with someone the opposite. It all gets us where we're going. Take care of yourself and try your best. You got this. Wishing you all the best. Thank you so much for your kind words. I'm so grateful that beautiful people like you guys exist. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.